All right, folks, I hope you're sitting down because what I'm about to tell you is going to require your full attention. We just witnessed one of the most historic winter storms to hit the Southeast in decades this past weekend, and I wish I could tell you that it's time to relax and enjoy the snow. But I can't. Winter has locked its grip on the eastern United States, and it is absolutely refusing to let go. What I'm seeing in the extended models right now is remarkable. We have a parade of winter storms lined up and ready to march across the country over the next 7 days, and each one is bringing significant impacts to different regions. This is the kind of pattern that meteorologists dream about studying, but that everyday people dread experiencing. Storm after storm after storm, each one delivering accumulating snow to millions of Americans who are already exhausted from this weekend's event. The polar vortex has been thoroughly disrupted, sending wave after wave of Arctic air plunging into the lower 48. Every piece of energy that drops out of Canada is finding abundant cold air waiting for it, and that means snow, lots of snow, for lots of people, over and over again. Let me walk you through exactly what's coming, because you need to understand the scope of what we're dealing with here. This isn't just one storm to prepare for. This is an entire week of winter weather that's going to test the resolve of communities from the Great Lakes to the Carolinas. The comparisons to the legendary winter of 2013-2014 keep getting more appropriate with each passing day. That winter featured 27 significant storms tracked by the Weather Prediction Center. We're adding to our tally rapidly, and February is just getting started. Starting Monday morning and continuing into Tuesday, a winter storm is going to come charging out of Canada and slam directly into the upper Midwest. Wisconsin and Michigan are positioned squarely in the bullseye for this first system of the week. The Arctic air from this weekend's blast is already locked firmly in place across the region, so there's absolutely no question about precipitation type. Every drop of moisture that falls is going to be snow. Pure, accumulating, travel-disrupting snow. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. Wisconsin is going to feel the impacts first as the storm drops into the state Monday afternoon and evening. Milwaukee needs to be watching this closely. Madison needs to be watching this closely. Green Bay, Appleton, Eau Claire, La Crosse, every community in the state needs to understand that significant snow is on the way. The system is going to intensify as it moves through, and by Monday night, snow is going to be falling heavily across the entire state. The snowfall rates on Monday night could reach 1 to 2 inches per hour at times in the heaviest bands. That's the kind of rate that overwhelms plowing operations. That's the kind of rate that makes highways impassable within hours. Interstate 94 between Milwaukee and Madison is going to become extremely dangerous. Interstate 43 along the Lake Michigan shoreline is going to be treacherous. The rural highways that connect Wisconsin's small towns are going to become nearly impassable until the plows can catch up. Snowfall totals across Wisconsin are looking significant. The southern half of the state from Milwaukee through Madison could see 4 to 8 inches of accumulation. The northern half of the state could see even more, potentially approaching double digits in the heaviest snow bands. Green Bay and the Fox Valley region are looking at 6 to 10 inches. The North Woods could exceed a foot in some locations where the heaviest bands set up and persist. As Monday night turns into Tuesday morning, the storm slides eastward and takes aim at Michigan. Detroit, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, every major metro in Michigan needs to be prepared for accumulating snow. The timing on this is brutal because snow is going to be falling right during the Tuesday morning commute. Road conditions are going to deteriorate rapidly, and anyone trying to get to work or school is going to face dangerous travel. Western Michigan is in a particularly interesting position with this storm. Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Holland, and the communities along the Lake Michigan shoreline are going to see synoptic snow from the main storm system, but then lake effect snow is going to kick in behind it. Lake Michigan's relatively warm waters are going to generate additional snow bands that could persist for hours after the main system moves through. This lake enhancement could add several inches on top of what the storm itself delivers. Detroit and southeastern Michigan will see the storm pass through Tuesday morning and early afternoon. Accumulations of 4 to 7 inches are looking reasonable for the Motor City metro area. The snow will taper off by Tuesday afternoon, but road conditions are going to remain hazardous well into the evening as crews work to clear the highways. The Upper Peninsula is going to get buried, but that's nothing new for the hardy folks who live up there. Marquette, Houghton, and Sault Ste. Marie could see impressive totals from the combination of the storm and lake effect snow off Lake Superior. Now here's where this week gets really interesting. As that Wisconsin and Michigan storm is exiting stage right, another wave of energy is organizing across the Ohio Valley. This isn't the same storm. This is a second system that's going to develop and bring another round of significant winter weather to a different part of the country. Tuesday evening, a winter storm is going to push through Indiana and Ohio with accumulating snow that's going to create major travel problems. Indianapolis is directly in the path of this Tuesday evening system. The snow is going to arrive during the afternoon hours and intensify as darkness falls. By midnight Tuesday, several inches could be on the ground across central Indiana. This is going to be a significant event for the Circle City. Schools that were just getting back to normal after this weekend's cold snap are likely going to face closures or delays on Wednesday. Businesses are going to see reduced productivity as employees struggle to get to work on snow-covered roads. Fort Wayne in northeastern Indiana is looking at significant accumulation as well. South Bend could see enhanced totals from its proximity to Lake Michigan. Evansville in the southwestern corner of the state will be on the southern edge of the heaviest snow, but still looking at a few inches of accumulation. Basically, the entire state of Indiana needs to be preparing for winter weather Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday morning. Ohio gets hit hard Tuesday night into Wednesday. This storm is going to track right through the heart of the Buckeye State, bringing significant snow to every major metropolitan area. Columbus is looking at a direct hit with accumulating snow that's going to create hazardous travel conditions. Cleveland is going to see the storm enhanced by Lake Erie, potentially adding several inches to the totals. Cincinnati on the southern edge is looking at lower amounts but still enough to cause problems. Dayton, Toledo, Akron, Canton, Youngstown, every city in Ohio is in the impact zone for this Tuesday night storm. The snow is going to be falling during the overnight hours, which means people will wake up Wednesday morning to snow-covered roads and delayed travel. The I-70 corridor from Indianapolis through Columbus is going to be particularly challenging. The I-71 corridor from Cleveland through Columbus to Cincinnati is going to require extreme caution. But wait, there's more. This storm doesn't stop in Ohio. It continues tracking eastward and reaches West Virginia by Wednesday. The mountain state is positioned to receive significant snowfall as the system interacts with the Appalachian terrain. Charleston, the state capital, needs to be prepared for accumulating snow. Morgantown in the northern part of the state could see impressive totals. Huntington along the Ohio River is in the impact zone as well. West Virginia's mountainous terrain is going to enhance snowfall totals through orographic lift. As the moist air from the storm is forced up and over the ridges, it cools and releases its moisture as snow. The western slopes of the Appalachians are going to see the heaviest accumulations. Some of the higher elevations could see 8 to 12 inches or more from this system. Even the valleys are looking at several inches of accumulation. By Wednesday afternoon and evening, this storm reaches Virginia and the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. The nation's capital, which handles winter weather about as well as a cat handles water, needs to be paying close attention. Accumulating snow in D.C. creates chaos. The government shuts down. The metro struggles to keep running. Traffic on the Beltway becomes a parking lot. Even a few inches can paralyze the region for hours. Richmond is in the path of this storm as it pushes through Virginia. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, which just experienced a historic snowstorm this past weekend, could see additional accumulation on Wednesday. The snow from this weekend isn't going to melt because temperatures are staying so cold. Any new snow simply adds to the existing snowpack. Areas that received 8 to 12 inches this weekend could be looking at another few inches on Wednesday. Baltimore is in the impact zone as well. The I-95 corridor from Richmond through Washington to Baltimore is going to face travel disruptions on Wednesday. This is one of the busiest transportation corridors in the nation, and even minor snow accumulations create major backups. With a legitimate winter storm moving through, expect significant delays and hazardous conditions. Now I need to tell you about what has me really concerned for the end of the week. Friday is shaping up to potentially deliver a major winter storm that could rival the intensity of what we saw this past weekend. The models are showing a significant system diving out of Canada with massive cold air support. This isn't a minor clipper. This has the potential to be another headline-making, record-breaking event. The Friday storm is going to come screaming southward with powerful Arctic air behind it. The cold accompanying this system could be even more intense than what we experienced this weekend. When you combine that kind of frigid air with a strong storm system tracking into the eastern United States, you get all the ingredients for a major snowstorm. And here's the kicker. The track on this Friday system suggests it could bring significant snow all the way down to the Carolinas. Let that sink in for a moment. The Carolinas just experienced a historic winter storm. Charlotte, Raleigh, Columbia, Greenville, all of these cities just dug out from several inches to over a foot of snow. Now they're potentially looking at another major event by Friday. The snow from this weekend is going to still be on the ground because temperatures are staying well below freezing. A second significant snowstorm would pile on top of the existing accumulation. Charlotte could be looking at back-to-back significant snowstorms within a week. When was the last time that happened? I honestly don't know. Raleigh, which dealt with the uncertainty of dry slotting this weekend, might be looking at another major snow threat by Friday. Columbia, South Carolina could see additional accumulation on top of whatever they received this weekend. This is unprecedented territory for the Southeast. The Friday storm also poses a threat to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast if the track comes in favorably. Washington, D.C. could see its second significant snow of the week. Baltimore could face another round of accumulating snow. Philadelphia, which largely escaped this weekend's storm, might be in the crosshairs for Friday. New York City, which saw only minor accumulations this weekend, could see something more substantial. The pattern driving all of this activity is extraordinary. Persistent blocking over the North Atlantic is forcing the jet stream into a highly amplified configuration. The polar vortex has been disrupted and fragmented, sending lobe after lobe of Arctic air southward into the United States. Every disturbance that drops out of Canada finds cold air waiting for it. The moisture is there. The dynamics are there. The result is storm after storm after storm. I cannot stress enough how important it is to be prepared for what's coming. If you're in Wisconsin or Michigan, Monday and Tuesday are going to require your full attention. Stock up on supplies this weekend while you have the chance. Make sure you have food, water, medications, and everything else you need to ride out a significant winter storm. If you're in Indiana, Ohio, or West Virginia, Tuesday and Wednesday are your days to watch. The same preparation advice applies. Don't wait until the snow is falling to realize you need groceries. The stores are going to be packed as people prepare, and supply chains are already stressed from recent storms. If you're in Virginia, Washington, D.C., or the Mid-Atlantic, you're potentially looking at snow on Wednesday and then another significant storm on Friday. This could be an exhausting week for a region that's already dealing with the aftermath of this weekend's historic event. If you're in the Carolinas, please understand that winter might not be finished with you when the weekend storm ends. The Friday system has the potential to bring another round of significant snow to a region that rarely sees one major storm, let alone two in the same week. Stay safe, stay warm, stay informed. This is going to be a week that goes down in the weather history books.